What's on the four over the pod? Getting some celebration dinner and listening to the post-game radio too. And yeah, Lester got off to a great start. Got in some trouble in the sixth inning. He only gave up one run at that point. Then had the bases loaded, hits a guy. Norwood comes in, walks a guy in. But so Lester ended up being charged for 3 runs. Unfortunate, it looked like he had a quality start going. But still pretty low, 2.58 ERA going into the break. Definitely is an all-star, deserves it. But he's going to rest up and be ready to pitch whenever Madden wants to pitch him. It could be second after the break, maybe on Friday. Hendricks is going to go Thursday. That's the only thing set in stone right now. We'll find out more about that later. The Cubs win 7-4 today over the Padres. Get the sweep in San Diego. They're up 7-1. Got off to a good start. Up 3-0, up 5-0, up 7-1. San Diego kind of clawed their way back in it. Rizzo kind of coming out of his slump. Been batting him lead off, and he got a couple hits today. So that's great to see. We definitely need him and Bryant to play up to their capabilities. They haven't been all-stars this year, but still a lot of good things. Rizzo, 61 RBIs for the year. The MVP of the team's definitely been Baez this year so far. He got another RBI today. He's got 72 RBIs. He only had 75 last year, and just he's putting up numbers like Willie Mays with 20-some doubles, 19 homers, 18 stolen bases, and he's hitting close to 300. Fans get frustrated that he swings at a lot of things and doesn't draw a lot of walks. Getting a little bit better, drawing a little bit more walks. Some of it is the respect, but definitely he's not afraid to swing, and he'll hit home runs outside of the zone. So, great player. Russell got an RBI hit. Soberist got an RBI and a ground out. Most guys in the lineup got hits. Wilson Contreras was in a funk, like 0 for 15, and he got a couple hits. Cubs bullpen, wasn't the best today, but they did get in with a 7-2 lead when Lester came. Kind of feel bad for Norwood. I think he's a pretty good pitcher. He tore it up in Tennessee. Didn't play a whole lot in Iowa, but he had a 0 ERA in like 4 games. And like to see him get in there in not so high leverage situations. But he did come in there with bases loaded and only 1 out in the 6th inning after Lester just got in trouble quickly. And he walked in a run. It was a real close borderline 3-2 call. It looked like a ball, but it could almost went either way, and he could have been out of the inning. And so that run gets charged to Lester, unfortunately. But he did get the 2 outs remaining in the 6th to get into the 7th inning when we were down 7-3. Strop gave up a solo home run later. I still think Strop's a pretty good pitcher. He doesn't have the best history when he comes in with inherited runners, but he's still a pretty good pitcher. I mean, his ERA is like 2.52, I think. So, heck, that's better than Lester, but granted, relievers should be better than starting pitchers, but still pretty solid pitcher. I think overall our bullpen's been doing pretty good the last week or two. It makes a big difference when you have some days off. It helps if the pitchers can go 6 innings or longer. Like Lester didn't quite make it 6. Hendricks only made it 5, got to 102 pitches. It's something to watch. I mean, that's why I think we need to get at least one better pitcher, and then, we're kind of counting on, Hendricks and Quintana to pitch more of their capabilities. Quintana's been looking better, but, we need more guys going 6 innings or more. And then it helps if the Cubs bats show up earlier too. When you have a big lead, it's easier to keep a guy in there longer instead of going with that pinch hitter or going to the bullpen earlier. So it's one thing after the break. We're going to be, playing 5 games in 4 nights against the Cardinals. That will be interesting. The plan is to go with our 5 starting pitchers now. And then probably on Monday, we'll have to call up someone from Iowa unless we have a trade or something by then. One name to watch, Trevor Clifton, I noticed in Iowa today. They won 2-0. Iowa's starting pitching has been bad. Unfortunately, our best arm got injured, so that didn't help. But first time we actually had Iowa had a shutout victory today. And Clifton's ERA is down to 3.58 in Iowa after like 8 games. And for Tennessee, he was like 2.86. So he's been definitely, right now it looks like he's their best starter because, we've seen Underwood. His ERA is over 4 now. There's Mills. He has some good games, but his ERA is like over 4.5 or something like that. We've seen Zhang from last year, and he played 1 game. Didn't do well in his 2 starts last year and this year for Chicago, and his ERA is 6.99 for Iowa. So, if he's getting rocked in Iowa, probably not a good idea to call him up. So I'm thinking next year we'll have more backup options in Iowa because, a lot of these guys in Tennessee or Duncan Robinson, there's a handful of guys. Hatch kind of struggled today, but I think we'll see some more backup support. And then Theo's pretty smart. He'll bring in guys. They bring in one guy, Coleman, did really well. Gave him an Iowa contract. He was actually in Chicago years ago. He did well his first game, only gave up 1 run, had 9 strikeouts. His second game, he gave up 3 or 4, I think 4 runs, so he struggled with second game. But we'll go after some more guys to bring some more support because you never know with injuries. We're still kind of waiting for Darvish, what's going on with him. And just doesn't sound too optimistic. He's going to be coming back anytime soon. He's going to be thrown on the mound next weekend, and then they're kind of go from there and kind of back to square one, maybe a rehab start or 2, and then so we'll see. But it's kind of frustrating. I feel like we kind of got to know now, so to kind of make a determination. Do we get a starter or 2? I think we need to get a starter so that way the bullpen, we could figure out the bullpen situation. I don't know what the heck we're going to do with Chatwood, if we just like eat his last 2.5 years, or if we're able to just trade him for half his salary, or it's frustrating. I mean, I would say Chatwood, his ERA was good the first month, even though I felt like he got lucky because he's still walking almost a batter an inning. Wasn't giving up long balls as much, and then lately he's been giving up long balls, hits, still walking guys. I mean, his strikeouts have improved. That's been the positive, but it's been a tough year. Tough year for him. I mean, he's 5.1 ERA. Anytime you're over 5 ERA over a large sample size, you're probably hurting the team, right? And has very few quality starts, making it 6 innings or more, 3 runs or less. So I guess his last game is maybe one of the better ones where gave up 3 runs in 5 innings. So kind of count your blessings, kept us in the game. For some reason, we play pretty good defense, and the bullpen steps up when Chatwood pitches. Like, our record is 10 wins and 8 losses when Chatwood pitches. I mean, it's not Chatwood's record at all, but I think he's only got like 3 wins, and then Darvish has 1 win. So it's been disappointing with the 2 free agent signings, but with all of that, Cubs are still 55-38 at the All-Star break, thanks to the Pirates beating Milwaukee 5 games in a row. Cubs are 2.5 games ahead in the division, so it's pretty exciting. I think heading into August, or we play a lot of games in a row. Even coming out of the break, too, we play like 5 games against the Cardinals, and then another 4 games against Arizona, and I believe we play like 13 games in 12 days. So, and then with the doubleheader on the 21st, we'll figure out like who's coming up to relieve, bring that 26 man. All these games in a row is what's going to make it tough for the bullpen, and we could get a 6th starter, but what good does a 6th starter do when you have Chatwood and 1 or 2 other guys that aren't making it 5-6 innings? That bullpen's going to get burned out, and you have 1 less bullpen arm, unless you go with 1 less at bat. But we need those 4 bench at bats too, because we run into these extra inning games. Heck, we had 3 extra inning games in the last was it six games? So we need those bats as well. But how about David Bodie today? And Elmora had a family emergency, so I was kind of surprised to hear the news. But Bodie took advantage of the opportunity, played really good, made at least a couple great plays at third base, and got a double, walk. I think he got on base like 3 times. Pretty good player for us. I mean, he could be that guy that fills in after Sober's contract expires after next year. He's definitely the first guy coming up on an injury. If he gets sent back down, if everything's fine with Elmora, Elmora comes back, then we should see Bodie up September 1st. And I don't know if there's a spot for him on the playoff roster unless someone gets hurt. I like the 4 guys ahead of him. It's a tough part, but 4 bench guys ahead of him. But it definitely looks like he belongs in the major leagues. I mean, another option is to trade him and see if you can get a good pitcher out of him too. So that's possible, but he's looking pretty good out there. He looks like he belongs, and definitely proved it in Iowa. Hit 12 home runs and runs good on the bases, and pretty good player. So, well, we'll talk more getting into the All-Star break. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday off. Play Thursday at 6 p.m. against the Cardinals, who fired their manager. So I don't know if that's an advantage or disadvantage. I hope they don't get Joe Girardi in case Madden retires. I like to see Girardi come in and be our manager. But pretty cool. And we have some exciting things, going into Monday, the home run derby. We have Baez and Schwarber. I think Baez, he can hit about everything, where Schwarber's a little bit more picky. But it's going to come down to, Baez has his brother going to be throwing to him, and Schwarber has sound like a college friend that's going to throw to him. So I guess it depends how good they do. I remember when Bryant was in the contest, his dad didn't throw him the best pitches to hit. So unfortunately, he didn't make it out of the first round. But I don't know, it's all fun. They definitely deserve to be there with their 18, 19 home runs. Two of the pretty good players. And then it's going to be fun today. We're already seeing Contreras and Baez team up today on a pickoff throw to second. And between Contreras' quick arm and Baez's quick tag, they picked a runner off at second, which is a pretty big play. We might get to see that again in the All-Star game. So that's going to be fun to watch on Tuesday. They both very much deserve getting the recognition and being All-Stars. And it was awesome. The fans voted them in. I know I voted for him every day I could, up to about 5 times per day. So, well, go Cubs! Exciting times. 2.5 game lead. We'll talk about Chatwood, or maybe we'll get a trade. We definitely need an upgrade over Chatwood, but we got a while to worry about him. When we come back from the break, Hendricks will take them out on Thursday. He got off to kind of a tough start. He gave up that 2-run homer in the first. He did, recover, pitched 5 innings, only gave up those 2 runs, but unfortunately he had 102 pitches, and they had to take him out of the game. But he did get credited with the win, so it's good that he did get run support. Even games earlier where he pitched pretty good to win, 2 were either losing or tied, and so his record's only 6 wins, 8 losses for the year. But I don't really emphasize the win-losses as the biggest thing, and sometimes a pitcher's lucky. Lester today won his 12th game, which is amazing. Early on, he definitely deserved that. He did lead with a 7-2 lead, usually giving up 2 runs. And then he ended up a 3rd one came through, but it's usually good enough to win. You would think with Cubs offense, they average 5 runs a game, but sometimes you never know. Against San Francisco, the bats just weren't there. Guess not an easy place to play. But anyway, exciting times. Cubs on a 3-game winning streak, 55-38. Best they've been this year, 17 games over 500. I think last year at this time, they were like 2 games below 500. Now we're 17 games above 500. It's pretty amazing. I mean, the bats are leading in 4 different categories, so they're definitely supporting some disappointments in the starting pitching staff. They're able to make up for a lot of those flaws, and I think our pitchers are going to get better, and hopefully we bring in another one in to help improve. If not, if Darvish can't come back, so we'll talk again. Go Cubs, go! Make it a great day.